Jax being a main character was not set up well enough. That's my thesis. All right, let's talk. For many months, I considered trying to pin down the main characters of Digital Circus arbitrary. Like, the show has 6 humans, 9 episodes, so surely that's enough time to explore each character relatively equally, while also uncovering the secrets of the circus in the background. Because, despite what some people will tell you, Digital Circus is a character-driven show first and foremost, and it's odd to me that people think otherwise. It's very coy about its, for a lack of a better word, lore. We'll be so goddamn close to learning some crazy new information, and instead the show is just like, let's focus on the task at hand. Which is good. I much prefer it to whatever wacky show other internet users dream up, where it's all about shutting down the evil CNA, and each human has a special connection to the company, and also Jax pulled a Walton Files on Gangle, who is his daughter.
If you keep talking about the hit and run, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
And if we had to assign the show a main character, it would be Pomni, obviously. Like, she is the main character. But then...
Going into this series, I never expected one of the things that people would get mad at me for would be making the show focus on the 2 main characters.
That one live stream clip happened, and I was just left scratching my head, I guess. Literally 2 days before I saw this clip and all of the discussion surrounding it, I had posted a video with me saying this. If the show comes down to just being about 2 characters, I'm gonna be a little upset, but whatever. So I felt particularly embarrassed, but it seems at least the show isn't going that far. Yet. I feel insane looking back at the first 4 episodes and all the marketing prior to the show's release. I will not be gaslit into thinking we were being advertised a show about a human-turned-jester and a human-turned-rabbit's fraught relationship in a digital world. It was about 6 humans trapped in a digital world with a wacky AI. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I was hoping more for like trapeze artists, jugglers.
Right, I was picturing that already.
It's not.
Oh, no.
It's not.
It's just kind of like random people.
Yeah, one of them's got one eye.
Okay. I am speaking directly to longtime fans here, the people who were following the show before the pilot released and watching the promotion for it in real time. This was billed as an ensemble show, right? And if anything, back then, Kane showed up a lot more than Jax. Episode 1 is episode 1. We immediately have Jax and Ragatha being set up as each other's foils. I will come back to this. Jax goes to join the B-plot, and Pomni has her Stanley Parable freak out, rightfully so, while leaving Ragatha in the dust. Jax's avoidance and Ragatha's over-involvement are introduced immediately and get brought back up later only to never be fully realized. Or maybe it will be in the hour we have left, but the cracks have been forming, and now I'm worried we're gonna fall through. Also, we get introduced to the rest of the cast, and there's 2 of my favorite jokes in the whole show, and also we get this weird single-use title card. It's a good episode. Episodes 2 through 4 follow a loose formula. They each set up 1 or 2 characters' arcs through a heartfelt conversation. But it's not the same every time. Zubul is talking to a brick wall. Episode 2 is Pomni's episode. We learn about her desire for agency, and her talk with Gummy Goo isn't Gummy Goo's conversation, it's hers. It's about her empathy and kindness, something she didn't get to show in the first episode. And of course, by episode 4, Pomni points out how it's getting a little trite, so they drop it for an episode. I say all this to point out how episodes 2 through 4 take the time to explore the main cast, all without Jax and Pomni having any sort of real connection. He's just mean to her. They bicker, not in a playful or friendly manner. The first time Jax shows a real fucking human emotion in front of Pomni is towards the end of episode 4. You're telling me you want the audience to care about this guy specifically more than the rest of the cast after keeping 95% of his story past the halfway mark? There had to have been a better way to go about this. Why should the audience care about Jax more than anyone else? Why does Pomni care about Jax more than anyone else? They're both very stubborn people, so it makes sense for one to keep chasing the other, but it's not like Pomni is specifically drawn to people who don't want her help. She extends this much attention and care to an NPC who just needed someone to lean on after his entire reality was kind of shattered. Is her fatal flaw getting way too attached to guys she was friends with for approximately 1 day each? I'm not trying to say that the show being centered around the main character and also this guy was lost somewhere from initial concept to execution. I'm saying that Gooseworks failed to make this clear enough from the beginning. Like, her friend fucking points it out in that same livestream clip.
Because I don't realize that Jax is like one of the 2 main characters, you know, because he gets introduced to like the group of 5, so it just seems like you're giving one of the other characters of the cast more attention than the other ones.
At least point us in the right direction, girl. I really would have no issue with this if it was made clear from the beginning that these 2 were going to be the crux of the show. But like, it just straight up wasn't, which is why I was whining about it for months. So, if y'all don't mind, I would like to present my 2 solutions. Solution 1 is reformatting the whole show. Whoops. Have Jax and Pomni hit it off immediately? Well, maybe not immediately. She's allowed to have her realistic depiction of a panic attack, so maybe like episode 2. Pomni initially finds comfort in Jax's philosophy that none of this is real and finds his antics amusing, maybe even participating in them. But as the show goes on and she spends each episode getting closer to each of the circus members, she realizes his and maybe her actions do in fact hurt the other members. Have Pomni learn that everything they experience inside the circus is real and Jax is harming everyone. And then they can have their big episode 6 fight. If you want the relationship to be at the heart of the show, you've got to build it up correctly. Make it apparent why they get along. Have Pomni realize that it's not right to torment everyone else to keep yourself sane. Have Jax learn his lesson, and then they can come together in the end. Instead, we get 4 episodes of this guy sucks to, oh, he's kind of chill actually, to, wow, those 3 hours we spent together were so fun. Actually, I just realized you really do suck for real, and I'm gonna threaten to kill myself in front of you. Solution 2 is what I really and truly thought would happen eventually. Just make Ragatha the third main character. Ragatha and Jax are foils of each other, they both have fraught back and forth relationships with Pomni, and they both overtly push their philosophies onto her. But Ragatha does not get main character privileges. Not in the show, and certainly not from the creator and sole writer. We see Pomni's friendship develop with Jax, albeit, like I said, crunched down into 1.5 episodes, and we see why it falls apart. Pomni and Ragatha just keep stepping on each other's toes, which is fine. I like the awkwardness of it all. We see the lowest point in the relationship, caused by Jax and Ragatha's own hangups about him, but we don't get to see why they're so close after episode 6. Pomni and Ragatha aren't allowed to sit down and have a talk about their friendship. Ragatha isn't allowed to misspeak or be rude or angry without having to apologize or be met with immediate consequences. I know it's a significant part of her character that she has to make everything fine all the time, but she never gets a moment to break out of that. As of episodes 1 through 8, Ragatha's character has developed from moderately overbearing to acknowledging she is the way she is because she blames everything bad that has ever happened on herself. I hope that in the finale she can listen to Kinger and learn that other people's actions are out of her control and she deserves to love herself, but I have a hunch that however it happens, it'll still feel hollow because the moments where she grows closer to others are usually not shown, and I'm not sure we're going to physically see the fallout between Ragatha and Jax. Ragatha deserves to have the same attention given to her character as Jax. It would make the show better, and I don't mean equating their flaws, obviously. Ragatha's overbearingness and constant concern pales in comparison to Jax's lameness and physical abuse. Let the narrative punish Jax the same way it punishes Ragatha for lesser offenses. Let us see why Ragatha and Pomni suddenly clicked. Let Ragatha be a main character. And also, God forbid you point out how it feels like sometimes certain characters get shafted, lest internet commenters start their whole, well, Pomni and Jax are the main characters, so why do you care spiel.
You're just like not important, like they don't matter.
It's not watching the show wrong to have complaints. Honestly, if you can't find a single thing in all of Digital Circus you think could be improved upon, I think you're watching the show wrong. That was way longer than I wanted it to be. I'm sorry. Here's my restated thesis. The show does not justify Jax as a main character. It should have been way more apparent since episode 2. And if not that, have Ragatha promoted to main character. Yeah.